YouTube, what's good? What's happening? What's popping with y'all? Cut. Hey, I'm back with another reaction, dog. Look, so I'm just out. It's Sunday. I'm just cruising on the street, getting something to eat. Got me a little Cane's. I was like looking for something to watch while I was in the car. Don't be on your phone while you driving. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. But yeah, I got me something to eat. I was like, I need something to watch while I'm doing this, and I seen this Nexpo video. It's like it's a you know how he be doing the little Reddit threads and shit. So it's a cult member. It's a cult member who escaped, and he's telling his story about it. So I like, bro, I gotta watch this. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I did start watching it, but then he got to the point where he was like, he finna read the Reddit users his thread, what he was saying. He was like, it's a 7-minute read. I was like, I might as well go home, eat my food. Cause I was gonna eat my food and watch the video. I was like, I might as well go turn the camera on. That's what it is. So let's jump into the reaction, man. I'm gonna start it over. Hey, viewer discretion is advised. Viewer discretion is advised. Turn it down. Get scared in here.
Stories on Reddit carry a certain, very special type of weight. While ARGs and creepy internet web series are definitely notable topics to talk about, I feel that incredibly strange, real-life narratives have a certain appeal.
Why is you all in my face, my nigga? Back up! You never seen nobody eating? I'm already comfortable enough to eat in front of y'all. Why you staring at me, dog?
Them. That seems more intimate. As we know, Reddit allows for an extra layer of immersion that isn't found on most other social media websites. Since you're unable to make your profiles private on the platform, it allows the opportunity for just about anyone to read through Redditors' post histories. This concept, coupled with anything that might be shared by a user, allows us to get an inside look on the lives behind the usernames.
I did not know that.
These can prove to be extremely intriguing. Because of this non-privacy concept, users will often resort to making throwaway accounts with the sole purpose of interacting on just one post.
I did not know that. I didn't know people made an account just to react on one post and that was it.
But depending on the context provided, has some mixed results. Tonight, we're going to discuss a throwaway account that I recently discovered by the name of
Cake Day,
181
January 29th. 2017,
About 2 years ago, they made a post in the Confession subreddit about their incredibly bizarre experience with an unnamed cult. Being completely fascinated by his story, I decided to do a little digging and stumbled upon quite a few oddities.
Like, how do they find these stories? People like Nexpo. Like, how do they find these? Like, are they just on Reddit scrolling all the time and then they stumble upon something that seems extremely interesting?
Because of this, I wanted to bring you along for the ride. We're going to press through his story before picking it apart to theorize on what might have happened to this anonymous user. So buckle down, because it's time to investigate the mystery of the Redditor that escaped a cult. Our story begins on January 29th, 2017.
Bro, what do you mean? What do you mean investigate his story and what happened to him? Bro, 9.99999999999 times out of 10, he just made the Reddit post and made another account, or he just went about his life. What you mean, bro?
On that night, a Redditor by the name of throwaway181718 had made a post to the Confession subreddit with the title, I was in a cult.
Yeah, that's deep.
Here, he explains in great detail his incredibly bizarre experience as he was enticed to join a so-called summer camp for people that have mental illnesses. Now, quick side note, I haven't exactly done any story narrations on my channel, but to get the full picture of this, I'm going to present his short story to you in its entirety. So, if you have popcorn or a snack nearby, grab it, because
this is the point I got to. I was like, you know what, he's right. I need to eat this while listening. I was like, shit, I might as well record too.
We're about to go all in before we pick his story apart.
He using the story to make a
I was in
YouTube
the
video,
cult.
so I'm gonna use his description of the
Firstly,
story to make a YouTube
apologies for
video.
my
You know what I mean?
anonymity. I don't want this to get back to me, but I haven't told anyone about this. I need to get it off my chest. 3 years ago, when I was in college, I was suffering with severe depression. I took medication and attended therapy and group therapy. One day in my group therapy, our therapist told us that there's a man here to talk to us. For reasons, let's call him Bob. Bob was really energetic, really friendly and understanding. He spoke to us on our level, a bunch of vulnerable teenagers. He told us about a group therapy holiday. We would go away over the summer holidays and do some cool things like rafting, rock climbing, etc. He explained that it was completely free because the college would pay for us to go, and it lasts 5 weeks. Not many people were interested, but I decided to ask him a few questions after the session. He told me it was all about adventure, making friends, and having fun, whilst continuing our therapy.
Y'all just got an uneasy feeling that I wasn't recording, so let me check it real quick. Alright, we cool.
I asked for some details off him, but he didn't have a card, so we asked for mine. Stupidly, I gave him my phone number, email address, and home address.
Damn.
Later that night, I was telling my parents about it. They seemed a little suspicious, but I was trying to convince them. Whilst we were talking, there was a knock at my door, and it was Bob.
Oh, hell nah, cuz don't
My
come to
dad
my
welcomed him
crib.
in, and he spoke to both of them, explaining that it's good for my mental health, and it's also a lot of experiences, as well as completely free. After talking for a while, my parents agreed that I could go. They filled out some paperwork, and the next time I saw Bob was when I got on the coach, with lots of other people around my age. Bob was really enthusiastic, and everyone looked excited, albeit we were all having mental health issues. Bob explained that on our first day, we would be doing an adventure course in building a raft to help with teamwork with our fellow campers. We drove north to a walled-off campsite, and it was huge.
Bro, you know, it's been stuff like this all the time that I've been offered, but I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Bro, could have been a cult trying to get me, dog. But you know, like cults, they prey on like mentally weak people, people who have low points in their life, like people who are depressed, who have extreme anxiety, and they come at them as like, I'm wrapping my arm around you, like family, father figure, mother figure type stuff. Y'all, it's some sick people in this world, bro. I'm telling y'all, y'all gotta be careful out here, man.
As we got off the bus, everyone had to go for a physical checkup. It was uncomfortable, but I assumed it was to make sure that we could take part in the events. The doctor was very thorough. When we left, we couldn't find our suitcases, so we guessed they were brought to our rooms. But when we got to our rooms, they weren't there either. I asked Bob, and he said that we weren't allowed them, and that we weren't allowed our phones either. He asked for all of our phones. Me and the other boys in the room refused, but then he said that it was in the contract we signed.
You telling a bunch of teenagers they can't have their phone,
We
you're
gave up our
crazy.
possessions, and he gave us these ugly tracksuits to wear because he, quote, didn't want our nice clothes to get dirty. We did some activities and they were fun,
This is
but
the
then we
beginning
all
of
went
Squid
for dinner.
Games. This is literally the
Before
beginning of
anyone
Squid
started
Games.
Eating, one of the group leaders said that we all should pray. I'm not religious, and there was no indication that this was a religious group, so I was a bit confused. The group leader said that we should all say thanks to the gods for bringing us all together. I thought this was weird, but assumed that he was just being inclusive of
Oh,
everyone's religions.
no.
Later that night, we all went to bed. Whilst we were in bed, another group leader, let's call him Todd,
What he do to
came in and
y'all?
forced us all to stand up. We did, and he told us all off for sleeping in our boxers. He said that we should sleep in the tracksuits. We put our tracksuits on, and as soon as he left, we took them off again. It was summer
What?
after all. The next few days were pretty much the same. There were some fun activities, but they were always shadowed by the
it's
group
some
leaders
weird
acting weird
folks
and
in
very
here.
strict. The boys and girls weren't allowed to talk to each other. When we went swimming, we went in our tracksuits, and we were only really allowed to talk during these activities. Every meal we had to pray, and the leaders always said things like, the gods will show us the way to the end. And on
Not gonna lie. I'm in a summer camp, and the camp counselors, they keep talking about the gods this, the gods that, the guys are allowing us to do this, the guys are this, is that. Bro, I'm finna get up out of here, dog. Everybody ain't like me, bro. Because I don't want to take it there, but all these people are probably middle-aged, out of shape people, you know. I don't mean to take it there, but it's just like, we ain't gonna get into that. Ooh, y'all gonna hate me for saying that. But I was like, bro, they're not catching me, bro. Like, they're not catching me. They're not. If I decide to run away, there's nothing any of them could do about it. Unless they just snipe me in my back, 360 no scope, ooga booga me, hit me in the, give me them toes, boy. Like, unless they hit me with something like that. But I'm out of there, gang.
Honestly, I
Out of there.
really creeped out. We did exciting activities, but we also had to do some more boring ones, like meditation. They also told us that if we wanted to stay after the 5 weeks, we could stay, and we could invite our families to live with us. One evening, I asked Bob if I could call home, just because I wanted to talk with my family. He said that my family was already told that I have arrived safely and I'm happy. I tried to argue it, but he was determined to not let me contact my family until the 5 weeks were up.
Then they won't let me contact my people?
So I had no way of contacting them. That evening, there was a campfire event, and it was integrated with a group therapy session. I asked to use the bathroom in the main building and sneaked off. There was a small office that was empty and the lights were off, so I went in and used the phone to call my home phone. I told my mom what was happening, and they told me that they'd come get me straight away. In the back of the office was another room filled with suitcases and a plastic box filled with phones. It took me a while to find my phone, but I stuck it in my pocket and then tried to look for my suitcase. Whilst I was looking, Todd walked into the office and caught me. He practically dragged me out and sat me down in the hallway, yelling at me for disobeying the rules. He said I was trying to get to my clothes and it was a sin to be proud or something. He then took me back to the group and told the other group leaders in front of everyone else. The group leaders were then angry at everyone.
Bro, like, what is the psychology behind being the leader of a cult and following that leader of the cult? Like, because, you know, it's like a hierarchy, you know, it's just like the military, bro. You know, we got a general, we got lieutenants, we got soldiers. It's like, that's just exactly how a cult is. Like, so being a leader and then being right under him, right hand man, like, what's the psychology behind all of this? Like, because, like, in their head, in their mind, everything that they're doing it because they 110,000%, they 10,000% believe everything that they're doing is just and right. Like, they really believe everything that they're saying. It's just like, how can a mind be so twisted to the point that you, like, bro, just go look at cult stories, bro. Y'all know how cults get down, bro. Y'all know how cults get down. Like, how can your mind be so twisted? And how can they brainwash so many people and twist their minds into their ideals? Woo!
Going over the rules. We were all sent to bed without dinner. In bed, I was on my phone, texting my dad, who said they were arriving now. I made sure that the other boys didn't see I had my phone. Eventually, my dad texted me saying something like, "We're outside, come now." So I pretty much jumped out of bed and ran out as fast as I could, past the group leaders who tried to stop me from running out of the building. Down the dirt road to my mom's car at the edge of the campsite, the leaders chasing me. My dad got out of the car and locked me in the car with my mom. The group leaders were saying that I wasn't allowed to leave. My parents...
That's why fathers need to be in kids' lives right there. That's why fathers need to be in kids' lives right there. Now let's keep listening.
The contract saying I can't leave until my 5 weeks are up. My dad refused and they tried to open the doors to get me out. Somehow my dad got back into the car and the doors were locked before they could get me out, and my parents drove me home.
W Pops. W Pops.
The next morning, Todd
W
and some
Pops.
leaders were at my front door. My dad told them to go away as they still tried to
Do
get me
not
to
come
back
back.
to
No,
the camp.
do not come to
They
my
wouldn't leave
crib.
without me. My dad called the police and the police escorted them away. We couldn't see them, but we knew they were watching. I pretty much didn't leave the house for the rest of the summer, and I was constantly peering out of my window. When college started again, I left the house.
Cause he wasn't even like I don't like, who knows what happened to them kids? Who knows what happened to the rest of them kids for the rest of them 5 weeks? But it's like, he didn't even go through it, and it left a lasting impact on him. Had him paranoid, looking over his shoulder for the whole summer and probably hell the rest of his life.
on my own for the first time to go get the bus, and as I walked down the road, I could hear Todd and the others calling after me.
And they still want this nigga. They still want this nigga, bro. Leave me alone, bro. Y'all better get y'all a burner. Y'all better get y'all a burner and stop praying for a better day. Because it's not coming. It's not coming. At least not in our lifetime. We ain't gonna see a better day. Maybe our kids, grandkids, great grandkids. I'll see a better day. But me and you, you can kiss that goodbye.
I tried to run, but there were around 10 of them. They surrounded me on the street. A few people from their houses heard the commotion, and I yelled out for them to call the cops. A few men came out and a fight started. I managed to run back to my house and lock myself in. The group leaders were arrested, but the next week a new group would show up.
Nah, cuz they got this nigga on a whiteboard, his name in big bold letters.
And we had to start a whole new life. We don't live in witness protection, but we use fake identities to stop them from finding us. My parents were in contact with the college and the police. The college stopped funding the group, and the police told us that they would start an investigation.
Ruined their life.
Killed himself whilst on bail. I don't know much more than that, but I hope that everyone in the group are safe.
I want to know what happened to the other kids.
A lot of speculation surfaced.
Oh, it just hit me. Guess what he meant by, that's what Nexpo meant by, my bad. That's what Nexpo meant by, he was trying to see what happened to him. Because they was trying to get him for months and years afterwards. What if they found him and they got his ass? That's what he meant by that. Trying to look for him, and I'm over here just talking, not knowing what I'm talking about. Hey, at least y'all know I don't pre-watch my videos. It's just like, all my reactions is live, bro. What I'm seeing for the first time, y'all seeing me see it for the first time, bro. Oh, man, I hope he alright.
After this, on one hand, there were quite a few people claiming that this was fake, and on the other, people were baffled, wishing OP the best. Now, regardless of how you feel about his story now, there is more to it.
Oh my
Remember how I
God.
said that Reddit post histories allow us to take a deeper look into the lives behind the posters? That holds true here. Heading over to his profile presents us with quite a few interesting discoveries. In a comment that directly follows his post, he provides an update, claiming that he appreciates us.
Although I don't think we need to own a gun, it seems a bit excessive. Besides, I don't think I can get one in this country. What do you mean it seems a bit excessive? No, what they're doing to you is extremely overly excessive. They kept coming to your house, and once the first group of, he said it was like 10 people, they got arrested. Couple days later, they sent another group. And you think getting a pistol, a gun, any type of firearm is excessive? I almost said something Kanye would say. Swear.
Comment that directly follows his post, he provides an update, claiming that he appreciates a supportive reaction and that he'd like to refrain from giving away too much information. Following this, he provides 5 notable bullet points, containing 1. In response to the questions about my phone dying, I didn't think it was worth mentioning that I turned it off before I handed it over. 2. I haven't heard from the teens since I left, and I haven't heard from the leaders since we moved house. There was an investigation a few years ago, and I don't know what happened to the group.
They still going.
3.
That's how
some of you
cults
have guessed
work.
my country, but I still don't want to give away too much information about where I live. 4. The reason I won't expose the group is because it would be interfering with the police investigation. And 5.
Out of here, bro. You gotta expose these demons, these devils. You gotta expose them. You got to, bro. You gotta put it out there. If you got pictures, you gotta post them. Cause think about what happened to you and how it affected your life, and you didn't even get to experience it. We don't even know what happened to the rest of the teenagers. We don't even know what happened to the rest of them for that 5 weeks. 5 weeks was probably a lie anyway. They probably kept them for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? You not speaking like you, like talking about the police investigation, forget all that. I know it's legal bindings, but like, I don't know, bro. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's just, I just feel like him not showing us, him not telling us, is just allowing the opportunity for another kid like him to get taken in by this cult unknowingly. And maybe they wouldn't be as the lucky as to go find their phone and their suitcase and contact their moms and parents. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And who knows what happened to them.
I mean, we unofficially started using a new surname, and only our closest relatives know this. As explained above, a group of the leaders were arrested and charged with harassment. However, more people turned up soon after.
Like, right.
He then closes off his post by claiming that he's been scared to even Google the group name in fear of being tracked down. A few other comments were posted by him in response to general questions afterwards, however they don't carry much weight. After these though, we can see...
Let me go read them, hold on. Despite it being one of the scariest moments in my life, I don't think it did help my depression in one sense. It made me forget about the petty problems I had and realize there were worse things that could happen. Since we moved, I feel a lot better mentally, and the support from my family has really helped. I don't want to give away my location, but you're on the right track. Why would you say that? We gave the police all the information we could, then agreed to have no part in further investigation or the potential trails. I have no idea what has happened since the police investigation started, but hopefully it was taken down and the kids were okay.
Wait. After these, though, we can see an incredibly strange thread that he made over in the Help subreddit with the title.
I will answer no further questions on this matter. Thanks for the support, although I don't think
title, how do I delete a message I posted? With absolutely no other context provided, there were only 2 comments on this. One was by an actual helper on the sub that provided tips on how to do so, and another was from a Redditor that was following this story. Look at his only other post and look at the comments. This is creepy as hell.
Uh-oh.
And then, he dropped a bomb. On February 3rd, and one last update comment on his original post, he proceeds to say this. This is not true. I was part of a therapy group that specializes in helping teenagers with mental health problems. It was not a cult.
Uh-oh.
Since then, I've decided to rejoin the group.
Oh no.
No further questions.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The police don't never do their job the way they're supposed to do their job. They don't never do it right. They don't never do it right. Nigga, they was supposed to get a cease, bro. They was supposed to get a search warrant, something, bro. And they were supposed to bust up in that hole, break out all the kids on some movie TV shit. Like Hanzo would've did. On everything I love, Hanzo would've did. Nigga, Hanzo would've went in there by himself on feet because he was dead, bro. He was dead. And I'm not lying. He would have went and rescued every single kid by himself. He would have dropped every single cult member and it would have been no more. Something like this would have never happened. Talking about this is not true. I was a part of a therapy group that specialized in helping teenagers with mental health problems.
On the matter. And that was it. Ominously, this comment fell on mostly deaf ears. With only 4 comments in the thread and 39 upvotes, the few that saw this were pretty baffled. Now, this is quite a bit to unpack. With the wordage used in his last comment, it sounds as if a third party is responding to accusations that were made in the story.
Right,
It
somebody else
seems
texting.
to me that the OP expresses himself pretty well. Why would he, out of nowhere, pull a total 180 and claim that this story is untrue in such an unnatural way? It just doesn't add up. With all of this in mind, we're able to run with 2 theories. Either 1, his story is real and the account was compromised by a cult leader that was attempting to discredit him, or 2, this entire thing is a hoax. Let's focus on theory 1. Let's say that this is real. He was forced back into the program, and either his phone was taken again, or they have access to his computer. Okay, but what organization was it that could have done this? Now, it sounds like it could line up with religious cults such as People's Temple or Scientology. However, I wasn't able to dig up much at all regarding any sort of rehabilitation summer camps that connect to them. It might seem like a long shot to try to match up his experience with an actual verifiable account by someone, but hey, it doesn't hurt to try. There is one group that I wanted to discuss here that seems like it could potentially fit the bill. If we head back to the comments section on his original post, we can see that a user left a link to an article claiming that his experience sounds oddly similar to controversies that were taking place in a rehab group by the name of Teen Challenge. After looking into them a bit, it seems, like I said, that they could be a potential suspect. From Wikipedia, the Teen Challenge is a worldwide network of Christian faith-based corporations intended to help teenagers, adults, and families with problems such as substance abuse or self-destructive behavior. It was founded in 1960 and is headquartered in Ozark, Missouri. Now, at face value,
Why we not in? Bro, ain't there water called Ozark that I drink? This spring water. Yo, wait, hold on. Ooh, boy, I got scared for a second, boy. It's called Ozarka. Oh my God! And this water came from Texas, Pineywood Springs, Texas. Ooh, I swear to God, I'm finna go throw all this. I was finna go throw all this water out. I'm finna go throw all this water out. Never drink it again. I promise.
this organization sounds legitimate and seems like it has an innocent mission. Help
That's
people
how
of
all
all
cults
ages
look.
out of self-destructive or addictive behavior. Interestingly though, if you perform a Google search of Teen Challenge Cult, for example, you can stumble upon countless posts about this group partaking in abusive acts at their summer camps. With this in mind, in that article that was shared, we're able to read up on the underbelly of the organization through a compilation of testimonies given by people that were put through the program. In one account, given by a parent of a student at the Teen Challenge affiliated school, Gateway Christian Military Academy, they claim this. They shaved him bald that first morning in 2008, put him in an orange jumpsuit, and made him exercise past dark. Through the night, as he slept on the floor, they forced him awake for more. The screaming, the endless exercise, it was all in the name of God.
So that's how they do it. That's how they brainwash people. They breaking them down. They're physically breaking them down. And when you physically break someone down to a point, it destroys their mind too. So while they physically break them down, they destroy their mind. Then they start spewing all this BS in their ears. And it's at the point where, like, I believe you, because now that I believe you, I'm not going through all this physical and mental anguish. Like, you made me exercise for hours, and I finally get to go to sleep, and you wake me up out my sleep to make me work out for hours again.
In another testimony, someone claimed, I was at Teen Challenge in Pensacola, Florida for 2 months, and it was very much like a cult. A lot of brainwashing there. It made my problems worse rather than better. I don't recommend Teen Challenge for anyone. One leader threw Bibles at the residents and carried around a baseball bat to scare us.
It's not funny.
Now,
Like,
to draw some parallels between the group, their testimonies,
It's
and the
not
Reddit
funny,
story.
bro.
For starters, OP isn't from the States. In this comment thread here, he basically confirms that he lives in another English-speaking country, and also makes a comment about not being able to purchase a gun where he lives. With that in mind, that means that this organization
But still,
would either
though,
have to
it's
be based in
like-
whatever country he's from, or have to be worldwide. Going back to that original Wikipedia description, Teen Challenge definitely fits the bill here. Furthermore, they're a rehabilitative program that partners with schools and has religious undertones. They force attendees to wear jumpsuits at their camps, wake them up at night, and provide so-called help to people of all ages. Each of these carrying a parallel to the original story. Now, say his profile was compromised by a cult leader and he was somehow forced to rejoin. That would mean that they had aggressively hunted him down even after they moved, and either coerced the parents into placing him back into it, or potentially had dug up some sort of blackmail. That would mean that he likely returned to the camp again soon after, his phone was taken once more, and they likely tried to get into his account without him knowing, assuming that it isn't password protected. Either that, or he's completely fine and they hacked him somehow, trying their hand at damage control, although this is pretty far-fetched in itself. I'm sorry, but a crazy religious rehabilitation hacker cult just sounds outrageous. Going with theory number 2, being that this is a hoax, we're able to pinpoint some holes in his story. First off, with that "how do I delete a message I posted" thread in his post history, we can begin to rip his logic apart. How on earth is someone capable of logging into a Reddit account, navigating to the help subreddit specifically, and creating a post about deleting a post without actually knowing how to delete something? It's incredibly rudimentary, and anyone with any sort of internet knowledge would know how to do this with ease. Furthermore, in his original update comment, he claims that he's scared to even Google the group name in fear of them tracking him down. Regarding the cult name, this implies that, well, he doesn't have one. Is, for example, Teen Challenge sitting there and monitoring every IP address that Googles their organization's name? Does that put you on some sort of watch list? It isn't even possible for the public to reverse track people that search up certain terms, which leads me to believe that this guy is either being overly paranoid or he doesn't have a group name at all. Lastly, he claims in his original story that he didn't leave the house for the rest of the summer. However, right when he finally does, the cult leaders surround him. So you're meaning to tell me that with all of the other people that could be taking part in this crazy cult, they had an undying focus on him and him only? Even
maybe he was special, bro.
Organization leaders that committed suicide after being released on bail, somewhat of a very specific instance, provides little to no results. You would think, being only 2 years ago, that this would send a shockwave across the internet. If Teen Challenge, or any other cult for that matter, were the ones involved, wouldn't there be reports about it? Tweets? Facebook posts? Like I said, there are a lot of inconsistencies, and it's hard to look past them. All in all, Teen Challenge is a religious rehabilitation organization that has had their fair share of controversies throughout the years. The parallels between the testimonials given by attendees and OP's original story are evident. However, with the lack of verifiable evidence that was given in his post, it's hard to pinpoint what exactly it was that happened to him and who it was that did it. Either he's back in this cult and in potential trouble, or this entire thing was nothing more than a very comprehensive, scary story. Nonetheless, it's an incredibly entertaining one, and if he ever comes back to Reddit to do the potential update he mentioned, I'd love to get some more insight into his experience. Throwaway181718 was stuck in a cult. Whether or not it was fictional, his story was indeed a well-written one. With it being just 2 years old, perhaps he'll be back, but if not, it looks as if it'll
sure
stay
as hell
in
hope
internet
so.
mystery history for good. So, what do you think? Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I love you all. And good night.
Yo, like Reddit, like that's what the hard thing to tell about Reddit is. You'll never know if a story fake or not. Like that's the thing, bro. Like you would never truly know. And like, but what's really crazy is like, for the one, it's a lot of them that do be fake, but I'm sure there's a lot of them that be real too. But for the ones that's fake, and it's like, think about the like what the human mind can create, dog. Like what the human mind can create is literally the scariest thing on planet Earth. That is, whoo. Like, bro, anything can be made. Like anything can be made up, and you got it in your head right now. Humans are the scariest thing on Earth. Humans are the scariest thing on Earth. We are, and this up here in our heads. That thing that's about this big in our heads. That's crazy to think about, bro. That's crazy to think about, for real. But listen, check me out though. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Go watch some of my other videos, bruh. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. I got a couple videos where I react to Nexpo and like, you know, like the lost media type content. I got a couple of them. Go scroll down the channel. While you scrolling down, you might see something else you like. Why you looking for this one? But nonetheless, I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. If you got to this point, that's love, and I appreciate you. And with that being said, I'm gonna get at y'all in the next one. Peace.